John, 20 years.
23 years.
23 years. Tell us, so where did it begin? How did it start?
So basically, I'm a chartered accountant originally, and I got a bit bored of bean counting, and the concept of mortgage broking was very new 23 years ago. I came across Mortgage Choice as a concept and decided that I'd have a go at it, and started off just from a home office, just doing things out of the dining room.
In the same area in Mudgeeraba?
In this area. So I've been in the area the whole time. And then after working from home for about 3 years, the business started to get to a point where I needed an office and I needed some assistance. So we moved into an office in Mudgeeraba, and we've basically been here ever since. So about 20 years in this Bell Place area. Been involved in the community ever since. So yeah, it's been a while.
It's a long time. Like, your name goes down so well locally. A lot of people know you. A lot of people know you by name. You've helped a lot of families over the years. You've started helping new generations as
Absolutely,
well.
yeah. I mean, because we live in the area, kids went to school in the area, the business has been here. I'm involved in the local Chamber of Commerce, the local park run. So I've been involved in the community for a long time. It definitely has been the case of you start to feel old because you're starting to do loans for the kids of clients, and you remember those kids as being 7 and 8 year olds coming in to see you, and now they're old enough to be married and buying houses. So that ages you quite nicely. But no, it's been good. And our whole philosophy the whole time, or my philosophy, has always been just helping as much as we can, and that's the part that's been really enjoyable.
That's the part you've enjoyed the most?
Absolutely, yeah. You always have frustrations when you're dealing with lenders and other third parties, but the enjoyable part is always just helping clients reach their goals. And we've seen people grow a lot of wealth through property. People have got themselves out of trouble through property, so it's been a great journey for most people. And obviously, property prices around Mudgeeraba, I think when we first set up shop, you could buy a house for $300,000. Now it's $1 million. So people that have stayed in the market and stayed in the area have done well.
They've done well.
Yeah.
It's an area that's grown, and there's still more growth happening all through the area.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not a lot of land sort of east of the highway, so there is more land out here, and people have moved here. I think initially it was seen as a cheaper area to live, but now it's actually a desirable place to live. It's not as busy as the coast. And there's a real community feel generally, but particularly around the... Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the locals call it the village, so people go in, there's a little village green and...
It feels like a village as you go in there.
Yeah,
I've got 4 kids in school here in Mudgeeraba as well, so it is like a village.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been fortunate, even though it has got busier, and we've got a few more fancy restaurants than we had 20 years ago and a few other things, but it's still maintained that village atmosphere, which is what people like.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's the most exciting thing that you're going to be thinking about doing when you do step back a bit?
Yeah, so I guess how this all came about was my kids, I've got three boys, 2 of them have finished university, graduated working, one of them's got a year and a half to go. So when your kids get to that point, you start to think, well, what's next? As much as I love what I do, I've been doing it for 23 years, and I guess I'm a little bit tired from doing it. So I think the exciting thing for me is just to hand over the business to somebody that I know is going to look after it the way that I did, and then just move on to the next chapter. I'm not sure what that is yet, but it just won't be mortgage broking. That's for sure.
We started very similar times.
Yes.
So I think we've been working together in Mortgage Choice for 20. I was 2006.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I was 2003. So I was a couple of years before you came along. So we've known each other for 20 years, and I know what sort of business you run. I know how you operate. So there was that element when the time came to retire from my business as to who does it go to. It's not a case of just saying, well, let's find the highest bidder and sell the business. I feel a loyalty to my clients, and I feel a responsibility that they need to go somewhere where they're actually going to be looked after, as we hopefully have looked after them for the last 20 plus years. So I had to think long and hard about who I was actually happy to sell the business to, because ultimately you're handing those clients on to somebody else and you want them to be looked after.
It's your legacy, and you've built a legacy that's so strong and such a reputation. It's so important that we continue your legacy.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I know as you say, we've known each other for 20 years, and I guess what has also come from that is you've got people that work in your organisation now that have been there for 13, 14, 15 years. So it's not a sort of a fly-by-night business where they'll be dealing with someone and then 12 months later that person won't be around. One of the biggest reasons why we have been as successful as we have been is because we've been that constant. So people might have had a personal banker, 2 or 3 years later that personal banker gets transferred or moves on, and then they've got to reintroduce themselves to their own lender again.
And talk the whole story
absolutely,
again, all over again.
Yeah, but we've had the benefit, or our clients have had the benefit of, regardless of whether we haven't dealt with us for a year or 2 or 5, when they ring our phone number, they've been able to talk to the same person they spoke to. I've been very lucky that the people working with me in the office have been here for a long time too, so people feel like they know us and they feel that we know them, and they don't have to reintroduce themselves every time, and that's the sort of feel that I'd like to continue. And I feel it will with you because you've got that longevity and you've got the staff that have been around for a long time as well.
We have, like, Ange and Elliot have been with the business for 13 and 14 years each, and the other guys are 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, our longest serving members of the team's 20 years this year.
Yeah, okay.
Which is Gavin.
Which is pretty much as long as you've been. Yeah, I remember Gavin was there pretty much as soon as you were.
Yeah, so. The poor bugger, 20 years.
Yeah, and I think obviously technology has changed. The big talk now is AI and what that can do. But I think ultimately when it comes to a decision about your home loan, the house you're going to buy, the place you're going to live, the place you're going to raise your kids, people want to have a personal relationship and they want to talk to someone. They don't want a machine telling them this is the best loan or this is the best property. They actually need that personal interaction.
And it's putting them at the forefront and putting them at the advantage as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And they need to feel that someone is actually genuinely cares about what happens to them, as opposed to it's just another transaction. And I think a lot of people feel when they're dealing directly with banks or online that they are just a number and a transaction. And I think we've been very conscious of people not being a number. We care, and I believe that's your sort of ethos as well. So that's the and that's where the synergy comes, and I think it'll be a very smooth transition from one to the other.
It should be seamless. There should be no difference in service to what they've received.
Yeah.
It will be a seamless transition.
Yeah, and I think too, I mean, the office is staying, so people that know us and where we are, they'll still be coming to the office. There'll be people here that they can talk to and that can help them, and as your staff take over this office, then they'll become involved in the local community, and they'll be part of the village as well. So it'll just improve from there. Yeah. That people on the western side of the highway are different and in a good way, and I think people do still value that the personal service and the personal experience rather than just being pushed to doing everything online or having a machine do it all for you.
Yeah, I mean I think keeping the office in this position is just the best decision we can make between us as well.